think everywhere in the world, if you speak to Beyonce or Rihanna or Adele, they'll tell you like how they most likely had to work, twice as hard as their male peers. Knowing that, I came into the industry prepared, and I was ready to work twice as hard, 3 times as hard, whatever it took. I remember I wanted to be in the church choir, and I went to audition, and then the next Sunday I went to church, and I just put on the, church robe, and the choir pastor, what are you doing? Take it off. Take it off. Your audition wasn't that good. You didn't make the cut. And I was like, well, excuse me, what? I just went home and I kept on practicing and practicing and practicing. And my mom was just like, look, you can just join the choir, or you can join the ushers. And I was like, nope, Mom, I'm going to be in the choir. So I rehearsed for months. And when I finally went back to audition, when they were like recruiting new vocalists, my mom like says, yeah, we're moving to England. I was like, so I still didn't make the choir, but I refused to be an usher. My first single was called Kele Kele Love, and that came out 2010. And I heard it on radio, actually. It was unmixed, not mastered. You could still hear like sounds in the background, like even to today, if you listen closely to that song. I can't remember what radio it was, but I was by myself in a taxi, and I couldn't even tell the driver that was me. I was just like recording it on my phone. And I remember like when I got back, I sent it to my family, like my song's on the radio. And they're like, are you sure? You're not just playing it on your stereo? I was like, no, I was on the radio. And my mom was so happy for me. Like, she was like, you sound beautiful. She always says like that, even when I know the song's terrible. So my new single, 4999, is actually a phrase coined by Fela Kuti, who is the godfather of Afrobeat. And he used to say 49 people sitting, 99 people standing, which is just a reflection of the poverty in Nigeria, where the bus is only supposed to take 49 people, but you have like twice as many people standing. So I kept it at 49.99 because I wanted people to be intrigued, and for it to be a conversation starter, like, what does 49.99 mean? So that's why we kept that title, and so far it's worked because everybody asks me, what is 49.99? I wanted to create something that was obviously very, very unique and artistic, but still very African. So it was very important for me for us to shoot it in Lagos, because I don't think we could have gotten that vibe anywhere else in the world. And everyone that worked on it was Nigerian, like the hairstylist, the DOP, the director, everyone. What I do as well, what we do in Afro pop is kind of like a blend of African music and soul, pop, R&B. So I think both sides are, borrowing from each other, which is what makes music so rich. Why do I think Nigerian artists are succeeding a lot more than other African artists? Oh, you just want to get me in trouble today. I don't know though. Nigerians we're tough. We're hustlers. And I think because the genre is called Afrobeat, the godfather of Afrobeat is Fela Kuti, so maybe that's another reason why. It's a tough one for me because I absolutely love South Africa, and I think the actions of a few people shouldn't really reflect the whole country, and it happens everywhere. I think there's a lot of healing that needs to be done between Nigerians and South Africans, and I think now is the time for people to speak up and to just know that we are brothers and sisters. And yeah, it sounds cliche, but it's true. Nobody wins when there's bloodshed, and that's the honest truth. There are a few artists doing it now. You have myself, Yemi Alade, Tenny, Simi, Niniola, Vanessa MDs, so many. But there's still room for more. And what we're doing, I believe, is breaking the boundaries so that the next generation don't necessarily have to go through what we're going through. the same way kind of like Fela paved the way for all of us. Whatever you do in life, you always have to leave a legacy so that the people coming behind you don't have to suffer or go through some of the hardships that you went through. God, I always feel like, wait, am I dying soon? Why do they always why did you ask me this now? How do I want to be remembered? I want Tiwa Savage to be remembered as an African woman who didn't take no for an answer, who literally went into the world and was a flag bearer for, Nigeria and Africa as a whole, and gave hope to every other African girl out there that if I can do it, they can do it even better.